Hey gamers, thanks for tuning into Fire Chicken Review, and this just came out just moments ago, but I wanted to cover it right away. And this is the Keyforge campaign launch. Is going to be this Friday, 9th of September. Super excited. I'm a little bit quiet right now, just because my kid's sleeping, but I wanted to get this video out nevertheless. So they say they're happy to announce the Winds of Exchange campaign coming out Friday, September 9th. I will be excitedly backing this as soon as I can. And they talk about all the pledge levels. So I want to go over about that. And they say that add-on items and stretch goals will be revealed at a later date. So they still have some items that they're going to be showing a little bit later on. And then they say, all right, here's the 5 pledge levels. So the first one's going to be the Novice of the Crucible. And it's pretty basic. It's going to be a 2-player starter set plus 2 additional decks. So in the past, for regular starter sets, it usually was like 4 decks. But I'm assuming that maybe it's only 2 decks. A little bit more information will probably come out in here, or maybe it is 4, but it also will come with the tokens most likely, and just like the other starter sets. So just a little bit more clarity needs to come out about the 2-player starter set, what that's going to include, and then it's 2 Wind of Exchange decks. It says it's going to be for 50 US dollars. So I'm expecting that this is most likely 2 decks plus all the tokens. And I wonder how they're going to address in the add-ons new players that don't have tokens, or are they just going to ask them to get this, or can you get the tokens to the side? Deal wise, I don't think this is the best deal in my honest opinion. I would actually recommend just using your own tokens, unless you don't have anything. Like if you're a new player, check out what the add-ons are going to be, and we'll find out more detail. But this isn't the best savings. But if you just want to start off, it is a good, like, hey, I just want to get the game as just as a board game. It is an interesting way. Now, what it's competing with, though, is Keyforge has 5 other sets, and you don't have to pay the 50 US and the shipping that's going to come with it. So this is going to be challenging. So I hope this is more than just like 4 decks, but we'll see. And there's some card spoilers, but I'll go over that at a later time. So the next one, the second tier, and there's 5 tiers, is the Hunter of Shards, 6 Wind of Exchange decks, and it also comes with 1 playmat of your choice. You're going to see that all the pledges come with different levels of playmats for the most part, which is an interesting aspect. I think the playmats, the art on these look amazing. I really do want to get the Brobnar one here, and I like the Mars, but I won't go too far in that. So it's the second tier again, 6 decks. You get a playmat of your choice, and this is 75 US dollars, so that's not too crazy. If you don't want playmats, this is a little bit pricier. This is the only thing about the playmats being added, is that if you don't want playmats, what you could do is potentially try to either trade or sell off your playmat when it comes in. But this is going to add to the weight and the cost of shipping, so that is unfortunate. I think what they'll probably have is in the add-ons, they might just have decks by themselves, but it's hard to say how much the shipping is going to be. And it's a little bit of a heads up, we don't know how much shipping is going to be as of yet. So then the one that they advertise, the Reaper of Amber, and this one's pretty good, is 12 Winds of Exchange decks, 2 playmats. Okay, so 2 playmats. So hey, if you want to play with a partner, you can get 6 decks each, or take all 12 and pick 2 of your choice. And then the big kicker, 1 Winds of Exchange personalized deck. This is going to be crazy. People are super excited to get personalized decks of their choice. So you can have your name, and if you're not familiar, a lot of names are not in the Keyforge database yet. So this has been something, a fan favorite that people have been like really wanting to get. So this is going to be great that you can get all your decks. You can get some playmats and a personalized deck. Now the caveat here is obviously you won't be able to put in anything. Obviously there's going to be some restrictions, so that it can't be like sexist or racist or any of that type of stuff that most people would be aware of. But I think there's also going to be a limited amount of characters, and you only get to choose, like, say Fire Chicken Review. I would be able to say like Fire Chicken, and then it'll be like Fire Chicken is the best, the king of the hill. So that means that what I mean by that is that you'll be able to choose one name, and then it's still going to be generated what the final amount, and the houses are also going to be randomly generated. So it's not the full name. Just if you're curious about that, you can actually look at the facts here, and it will say, can I change? Where is it? When I personalize my deck, it talks about all the information as you can see here. So let me get back to the update though, and not go into details, because you can check out the website and I'll be linking that for sure. So that is the personalized deck. But in addition, this is really cool. Even though I have a ton of playmats, I think that this is a cool item, and that is that basically whatever you choose for your personalized deck, the same thing that you get here, you're going to get as a playmat. So you're going to have this personalized deck, and then a playmat. That is super cool. Like I actually think this is a really cool item. People just want the decks, but this personalized playmat in addition is going to be interesting. And they go on a little bit further in this update to say that you'll be able to choose some of the colors and stuff like that. So there will be a little bit more of your choice, and they'll probably dive into that a little bit later on. So this is, they say it's MSRP of about $244, but it's going to sell for 150. I do think that a lot of people are going to get this for 150 US. I think just the 12 decks, and don't mind the playmats, but the 12 decks, and to get to name your own deck. So getting 13 decks, so 12, a dozen decks, and to get to have your own personalized deck, that's going to be worth the 150. And for those that are wondering, like, oh, I can get current Keyforge decks for cheaper. Remember that Keyforge went on hiatus for a couple of years, and in addition, they basically said that the MSRP value of Keyforge is now going to be about, I believe, about 12 to 13 US dollars versus I believe it was around $10 before. So I think this is a great deal, and I think a lot of people will go at this level. It's just unfortunate that not everyone's going to want these playmats. So I did wish that there was a better tier that was mid-tier that did include playmats, because it's going to increase the cost of shipping, and the people could have saved. But I think overall, this is a great one. And then there is Breaker of Chains. So 36 decks. So those that are familiar with Keyforge, usually you get a dozen decks. It will be a box. So this would be 3 boxes, which is a good point. I think there's going to be a lot of heavy Keyforge players that are going to go at this level potentially, because a lot of people like to get like 2 or 3 boxes, and because we're not sure how retail is going to go, it depends on how well this campaign goes. I think this is a good spot potentially, but let's review it, right? So 36 decks, you still only get 2 playmats. They'll probably have the option if you want to get more as add-ons in the campaign when it comes live on the 9th, this Friday, right? But this is another cool kicker. So 36 decks, it's basically like tripling what you get in the other tier. But now you get 3 personalized decks. So I'm assuming you will be able to name each personalized deck, and you get 3 playmats. This is pretty cool. So you're going to save, I would have to double check how much you're going to save, but if you only want like 12 or 24 decks, what you can do is maybe you go in with 2 or 3 friends, and now you'll probably save a little bit on shipping and bundling all of this together. And now you can each have your own personalized deck and personalized playmats. I already covered how cool that's going to be, but check this out. It's going to come with a Niffle Ape. Oh, this looks great, by the way. And basically, I don't think it comes with, I can't remember if it comes with a key or not, but it's going to be the Niffle Ape and the Officer Moon and the fuzzy Gruen. Are you kidding me? That's so great. Now, all these items here, the Niffle Ape and the Officer Moon, never actually got officially released, but these were actually prizes. So this is interesting. These are actually items that were going to be prizes in the Keyforge when it was still with FFG, but we just never got it. I think these were like store event prize levels. I can't remember off of the top of my head, because we only got one of them, and only so many stores got them, because this is when Keyforge and we basically everyone was going into the 2-year period of not being able to figure out what was going on, and Keyforge went on a hiatus, right? So these are actually probably items that they got from FFG. They depending on how well this campaign goes, they probably have to make new ones, or maybe all these will be new. But these are super cool. And the fuzzy groon, not everyone's going to want this, but I did pick up one for my son before I knew that this was going to be an option. So this is super cool. I hope they do have more plushies in the future. And this is going to be 420 US altogether. I think this is a great deal. So 420, you're getting 3 boxes of Keyforge, you're getting 2 playmats, getting to name 3 decks, 3 personalized playmats, and then you're getting 2 figurines and a plushie. And again, for people that don't want these figurines or this fuzzy groon, like not everyone's going to want this, so it seems like maybe an odd tier for some people. What's going to be interesting is that like this fuzzy groon, you'll be able to sell or trade this to other Keyforge players probably fairly easily, or just people that like the figurine. Now, these items here will definitely only be interested by Keyforge players. The only problem with this tier is that if you're looking at splitting with 2 other friends, so you're going in with 3 people altogether, obviously there's only one of each of these things, so you'll have to figure out who's going to get what, or you can go in by yourself. It is quite a bit of money at $420, but this MSRP versus what they're saying it's valued at, so the basically like almost 700 US versus 420. I do think the 420 is a great price. We'll have to see what the shipping is. I think this is going to be well worth it. And if you want to reduce your cost, you can sell some of the items that you're not interested in. Even like maybe you only want to name 1 deck, and you can get people to name the other 2 decks and give the other 2 playmats away. So there is a potential to reduce the cost of this pledge for yourself by getting some friends that are only interested in some of the items and help save altogether. So this is a great price overall. And again, this is coming from like the competitive idea, because people that want to buy boxes, usually a lot of the competitive players will buy like 2 to 4 boxes, or wherever your threshold is. So that's kind of interesting. So I just consider these all basically revealed stretch goals, if you want, for those that are familiar with like crowdsourced campaigns, because that's a pretty much, these are all just bonus items here. So the next thing that we got here is the Turner of Keys at 72 decks here. So this is quite a few decks, right? So you're going to have 72. What's the math on that? That's going to be, I think, 6. Yeah, it's going to be, so 6 displays. So 12 decks would be considered a display. So 6 displays of Keyforge, so 72 decks. Still only 2 playmats, which is interesting, but like people don't want a crazy amount. And for whatever reason, you only get to name 3, so they didn't go up and add 3 more, which is unfortunate, because I would feel like people would want to have more if they're buying more decks, but I totally get it, because this is basically the tier I'll be at, because this is the last tier, but this is for those that want to be on the competitive side, getting the playmats, getting to the 3 personalized decks, 3 playmats that are personalized as well, so that remains the same. So you get only still 1 Niflway, 1 Officer Moon, and now the Dust Runner, which this is the model, and this is interesting because this model, as well as the Fuzzy Groon, were already items that were either on the prize wall or items that you could get. This one was like a store event that you could get this from, so it's interesting to have a mix of Keyforge items that were basically with FFG before Ghost Galaxy took over. But yeah, so this is what you get. And then this is an interesting final thing, and super interesting. +1 Wind of Exchange collector set. Complete collection of 250 cards of the Wind of Exchange. Not tournament legal. And I think this is awesome. I actually hope that they have an add-on where you can choose to get a set, even if it costs a little bit more, because I think though not everyone thinks that you should play Keyforge and like being able to mix it up. I think for theory crafting or potentially uh, want to prepare in the tournament and you know someone's going to be bringing a deck, well, now you can build potentially that deck, obviously just one of each card copy. And the cards can be more of one, but this is just going to be a fun little boost thing. I'm actually super excited, even though this is a very heavy price point. I think that if you're a competitive player, you may want to consider coming in at this, but this is heavy, like 750 US. But a lot of competitive players already buy 6 displays or 4 to 6 displays. And because we don't know if this is going to go retail yet, which I'm sure it will because this campaign will probably do quite well, that's why you would have items of this nature. And super excited about this collector set. I don't think everyone is. Let me know, sound off in the comments what you think about this. And yeah, I think this is super cool. And what's also really cool about this is that this may not be tournament legal, but the Keyforge Adventures will be usable in that. And well, you should still use tournament legal decks, but at least in Keyforge Adventures, now you have a full set of the cards. And I hope this is something that potentially carries on if it remains of interest to people, because now you have a full set of cards. You can try to do different things for the basically the cooperative mode of Keyforge. So yeah, sound off on that. And again, so this is 750 US. And when I did the math, let me double check. So 750 divided by 6, it comes to basically 125 US a display. Plus shipping is going to be quite a bit. But because of the new MSRP, if you think of it as being 125 before shipping for a display, and then thinking of these as all bonuses that you could potentially trade or sell off to other Keyforge players, this is quite a bit of value. And because a lot of these items, especially the personalized, are very looked at for by players, I think that's going to be a crazy item. Now, what I do hope, and I'll scroll up a bit so we can go over this a bit more, what I do hope is that you can add on more of these pledges, and they have basically reduced shipping for group buys, because me being a big Keyforge player, I'll probably be trying to do a large group buy for my local area just to reduce the cost, and I hope the international cost remains down. There's also discussion about what languages it's going to be in outside of English, which they don't cover here, but they said that they're hoping to potentially get stuff depending on where people are located and whatnot. And so that is the 5 pledge levels. I think the 750, it's basically all these amounts, in my opinion, is the Turner of Keys is 6 displays. It's worth it just for if you want to get 6 displays or going to be breaking up with other friends. Same with the Breaker of Change. It's like 3 displays. And again, so 3 displays and you're spending, what was it, 420? So it's not too bad. And remember, you can sell off all the stuff or trade it. Now the shipping is going to be more. That's the only problem. So I think quite a few people are going to go here, but the big one is the first one that they announced. I think a lot of people, the Reaper of Amber, this is a good pledge level for a crowdsource or a crowdfunding site like Gamefound, because 150 is a lot of money, but that's where a lot of these popular games are coming out at, and you could get enough to play with friends. So if I was to recommend anything for new players, I potentially look at this. And the beauty is, my recommendation is that I wouldn't get any of the starter tokens or starter sets or whatnot. I would just go on to the different sites or ask people locally if they have the token sets, because a lot of players do have it. So you can save quite a bit of money on that by just getting the 12 decks. And so that's why I think of this. I'm starting to lose my voice. But I think this is super cool. The only thing that is interesting is, like I said, these items here, which were previously going to be released by FFG's prize support. But this fuzzy Grun, for example, this holds a lot of value to a lot of people, and that's crazy. It's not a small item. I can show images if people want, or I think I have it in one of my in my board game table review. It sits on one of my shelves when I review my Geek and Sun table. Um, so yeah, let me know what you think of the 5 pledge levels. If this video was informative to you, consider liking, subscribing to the channel. I'll be covering a lot of Keyforge material, and I'm super excited. Like I said, I'll be going in at the 750 pledge level. If you have any questions about Keyforge, sound off in the comments, and they also have on their web page, which I'll be linking as well. They just do a better summary of the different pledge levels. Though I don't like how far it's grossed down. It's kind of ugly looking with the background, but that's just me. I'm not a website designer, but just as a potential backer, it just scrolls down too far where the text only goes so far, right? But yeah, 9th of September, the campaign launches. I am super excited, and I hope you are as well. Well, that's all for now. I'll catch you later.